Hi there, this is a quick update on Lavender. I'm just reading off my computer at this moment in time, and I've got a stinking cold, so that's really where I am at this moment in time. But nonetheless, we'll continue. Now, a few days ago, I did a camera and sound test on the set. The sound potential is absolutely marvellous. The exterior of the carriage, filming outside of the carriage, is fantastic. I came across problems within the carriage. I did a number of takes and played with the settings. The carriage interior, from a light perspective, is you've got high contrast. You've got high areas of light coming in from the windows and low areas of light coming in. Some grain was appearing. I'll show you a little bit of that later on. But it's manageable, and on the day I will be adding further light from a higher shop on the day, so we should be good to go from that perspective. Now, there's a few issues which have come up, which I'm going to be dealing in this video. As we all know, films, even short films, it takes a lot of organisation in order to orchestrate facilities so that a good result can come from it. Firstly, expenses will be paid on the day. By that I mean a return rail ticket to Loughborough. Dinner is provided, and there's access to a kettle and a power point on the station. Loos are there, and all facilities required for comfort are there on the station, which we can use. Also to this, I'm taking out both public liability insurance and employer liability insurance for the day. When I'm doing a film, everything is above board and done legitimately here. I don't like to play games with people. So to get some technical support, I've also been talking with directors, and I've been meeting up with a few for coffee. These are 90-minute directors, and they've got the distribution deals. And I'm listening much more than I'm talking. These guys know this industry far better than I do, and they're happy to chat. Now, I'm not a first-time director. I used to do corporate films many years ago, and this was the beast, the old Canon XL2. Now, years ago, this camera revolutionised independent filmmaking. It's a first-class piece of kit for its time. Nowadays, if you go like that with it, you get camera blur, which is uncontrollable. And really, nowadays, it's dated. The only thing I like about the XL2 is its sound. The sound is fantastic. But that's where it is. Corporate cinematographer to cinema cinematographer is a learning curve. The absolute basics stay the same, but then the basics of cinematography, that's a whole new science and an art, and it has to be learned from scratch, just like everyone else. But I'm putting a lot of work and effort into this. I'm also doing a class with Werner Herzog. I'm doing his masterclass at the moment, meeting new filmmakers and listening to people. How do we make this happen? It's a lot of hard work, and that's really the formula here. I feel like I could do this film successfully with help, and I'm also very supportive on set. I offer full disclosure from the start, no lies, no exaggeration of ability or influence in the industry. My influence in the industry is none. I don't have anything. Honesty is the best policy, and lies always get found out, in my opinion. For the day, I'm bringing a sound man in because there's some sound complex scenes that I've seen on the set, and I do not have the capacity to capture that effectively. Nowadays, we've got the Nikon D5500. Basically, it's the same performance as the Canon Mark III, but lighter and far more compact. And I chose this as it gives superb performance, and it's far easier to place on a glide cam, which is becoming my preferred weapon of choice. There's no point having a large DSLR on there. Your arm just gets tired, and then you start getting the micro shakes in, and basically at that point use a tripod. So as for the film, short and sweet is going to be the formula here, potentially less than 4 minutes. This will make the film much less complex and less stressful, and thus potentially more successful. We have approximately 6 hours from setup to wrap, and that day is going to go very fast. Excuse me. There will be a lunch break and coffee breaks put in, as I find without them without a break. There's one break, and it doesn't start off as an official break. It starts off as a cup of tea, and it's about 3/4 of the way through the day. And because people are drained, momentum is very hard to pick up afterwards. It's far better to have breaks throughout the day so people can keep that incredible energy going. Because as we all know, filming it is absolutely exhausting. It's better for this film to do a coherent, skillful 4-minute film, and I'm aiming for an early wrap here than a not so good 8-minute film, which is questionable. It would be, the longer the film is, the less likely it is to be watched or accepted in a film festival. Also, I'm going to be taking a laptop with me. A monitor is it's not quite sufficient in my opinion to totally eliminate what is going on in the foreground and the background. I need to see the grain, I need to see the quality of the film, and a large laptop is what I prefer to use for that, because then we can start to see the problems as they occur and respond to that spontaneously. Now, a lot of light on the day will be natural. That's a good thing, but the sun going behind a cloud or coming out of a cloud can mean alterations to setting, and it's better to be aware of that on a larger laptop than not aware of that and then ringing people up and saying, I'm sorry, we did the film, but or worse, putting out a film of extremely low quality. That's just not going to happen. We don't do that here. Quality visual and perhaps even more audio is essential. Now, for the story itself, Mervyn informed me that he was sent a script with an almost identical ending, and that film festivals are full of applicants depicting a cliche of sorts. I have spoken with a number of directors about cliches, because it is a cliche, and they told me you will have more problems with a non-cliched film than a cliched film. Cliches work, they're established formulas. Hollywood's full of it, but we do have to enter a new angle of an old story. A short story can only have the essentials in, but I'm thinking of enhancing the script in terms of distraction to keep that ending as far away from the viewer's mind as possible, so the conclusion and ending is served on a silver platter. To make this a puzzle film which engages not only the eyes but the mind. Film festivals can be an excellent medium, but they're very expensive. Admission fees for a full spectrum would be in the thousands, but some judicious placing will be done. I've heard of short films costing over 20 grand and still they go nowhere. This is a gigantic casino, and I would rather be lucky than smart every time. I also have a marketing strategy for the film. A lot of thought, research, effort is going into this, and I'm aware that I would be a first-time filmmaker, so I'm keen to give 100% in terms of effort and support to everyone involved. Those people who have worked with me, I tend to be quite meditative on a film set. There's no foul language, not even a raised voice. I'm very quiet and focused with that, and I'm friendly. I smile a lot, and I encourage people a lot, and that's important, not just in filming, it's important in life. So the intention for this film is to be a calling card of quality. A short film, well, I've never heard of it being sold. If we can do high quality and prove that, then funding and help for the next project is far, far easier to obtain. The length itself does not matter. We have to produce high quality from the start of the film to the end. Falling in love with the film or its script just because we've made it or involved with it, it's a total disaster. We have to be ruthless here and look at this from the audience's perspective in every frame. So that's it for the moment. Thanks for listening, and I'm always contactable, and I would be very happy to hear your ideas. And if we pull this together, there is a very good possibility that we can all walk away with something of value, which is what my intention is. Okay, thank you very much, and hopefully hear from you soon. All the best. Bye.